So, Molly, first, can I get your name and your position?
Sure. I'm Molly Hayes. I'm a staff reporter at the Hamilton Spectator.
And you just were recently won an award as the best young journalist in Canada. How did that make you feel?
It was very flattering and very humbling, but also very exciting because this is the first time a reporter at the Hamilton Spectator has won it. So it's very cool to kind of be reminded that Hamilton stories are worthy of national recognition and that we're doing such good work here. And just to be part of that is very cool. So it's exciting.
What is it about Hamilton that seems to bring out the best in terms of reporters and creative types, or just something about this city?
Yeah,
What do you think it is?
I think it's on such a shift right now, which makes it especially interesting. But I mean, being in Toronto, there's obviously tons going on. We all know about the Rob Ford story, but it's just such an oversaturated market. Where I think in Hamilton, we're just still turning over rocks, and there's so many untapped stories, and there's just so many characters in the city because it has so much character.
Okay. So you're still young. What tips do you have for reporters that are even younger?
My biggest thing I found as a student, just taking advantage of mentorship opportunities was the biggest thing, and that continues to be a huge thing for me at the Spectator. I'm by far the youngest person there, so I'm lucky to be just around so many people with so much knowledge of the industry. So just getting out to events like the Media Guild or to speeches by journalists, it's just making those connections is so invaluable.
And how do you do that? I mean, a lot of young people are intimidated just by the thought of walking up to someone and asking their advice or asking to meet for a cup of coffee. How do you do it?
Well, I think that is where we're lucky with social media that we don't have to do that in the same way anymore. You can connect on social media. I mean, we just met for the first time tonight, but I know you from Twitter. And I think Jim Poling from The Spectator, Rick Hughes from CBC, Paul Burton, these are all very accessible people online. So while it might be intimidating to go up to them, you can do that virtually and make that same connection.
And what about your reporting? What do you think has been the key to the success that you've had? Without
Um,
bragging.
well, I could do that too. I think so. What was submitted for this awards in particular was partially the Tim Bosma coverage. The Hamilton Spectator was on that story from day one, and our whole team did an awesome job on that. And I was lucky to be part of that and kind of be one of the lead reporters on it from the beginning. But also just kind of those classic Hamilton stories. One of my favorite stories I did last year that ended up being an ebook for the Toronto Star was The Penniless Millionaire, which was about a Hamilton woman who won $10.5 million and ended up blowing it in 8 years, which seems unfathomable when you hear it, but once you get to know that person and the circumstances and the history of the lottery system, it's just such a fascinating story. So those are my favorites, just the kind of the classic Hamilton characters.